welcome back to the Outcast Faith Podcast. In today's episode, I have a really special friend of mine, Reatta. We've been friends since we were little, and our parents went to kickboxing classes.
Yeah.
We met there, and then we started going to the same church, and Reatta was like one of my best friends for a long time, and then she went to college, so we're just getting to see each other for the first time in a little bit, and it's really exciting.
Yeah.
But tell us a bit about you and your life right now, your interests.
Yeah. Okay. Well, hey guys, my name's Reatta. A little bit of background about my name. So it's a Spanish word, and it actually is like a rawhide rope that like cattle ranchers would use, and so I know it's super interesting. My dad was like a crazy cowboy when I was born, so I don't know how I came up with this, but it's super strong and really flexible, and actually my middle name is Faith, so that's so cool. Yeah. So my whole name kind of means like strong faith, so I think that's really cool. Yeah, a little bit about me. I grew up in Tucson my whole life. I have 3 siblings, an older brother, older sister, and a younger sister. I'm a senior at the University of West Georgia. It's my second year going there, so it has been so fun. I'm actually driving up with my mom and my sister Friday, so it's a 3-day road trip. So I know I'm excited, but it's so long just driving through Texas. Like, oh my gosh, that's most of the trip. It's like 2.5 days.
It's not that pretty either.
Exactly. Yeah. I went to Pima Community for about 2 years, got my associate's degree. Something that's really, really big in my life is I run cross country and track and field. So I did that all throughout high school, started my freshman year of high school, and then got the opportunity to run for Pima, and then that's what led me to West Georgia. So yeah, that's kind of where I am now. I'm studying health and community wellness, and not really sure what I want to do with that, honestly. But yeah, just really open to see where the Lord brings me. Part of me kind of wants to go back to school, back to Pima, to get my associates in nursing, and then just go into peds. And so, yeah, I don't know. There's lots of options, but we'll see. Yeah.
Okay, will you tell us a bit about your childhood, and did you grow up Christian?
Yes. So thankfully I did. Both of my parents grew up Christian as well. So we had, just a really, really nice household when I grew up, and going to church was like my favorite thing. Like Sunday mornings were the best. And I was homeschooled too, so that was like my only
we were both homeschooled.
Yes,
I forgot
yes.
about that.
So like karate and going to church was like my thing. Like that's
the social
exactly.
Part
Yes. So yeah, my mom definitely, incorporated a lot of biblical truth in our homeschooling, and so that's all I knew, I guess, So I didn't start going to, I went to a charter school my 5th grade year, so that was definitely a big, big shock. A little bit about my childhood. Definitely just grew up playing outside, like in the dirt. I've always loved running, and so that was really big when I was a kid too, just kind of just running around our little property. We live like in the middle of nowhere, and there's literally just dirt everywhere. So, and me and my younger sister were really close. We're about 3 years apart, and so we would always be playing Barbies and like crazy just imagination games or whatever. So that's always just so sweet. When you'd ask me these questions, just like reminiscing over just all those sweet memories, I was like, oh my gosh, like God, you were so good. So it's really sweet to like look back at everything. A couple of things that I struggled with as a kid was just like longing for the future. As a kid I was like, I can't wait. The whole thing was, I can't wait till I'm 16 and have my prince and like all this stuff. So it took me a long time to realize like, wow, like no, living in the moment where God has you right now is so perfect and so wonderful, and there's so much joy in that. And my mom would always tell me like, no, we gotta like enjoy being a kid. And now as I'm like a young adult, I'm like, oh my gosh, like enjoy. Yes. So that's something that I always kind of struggled with, was just just really looking forward to the future and not really being present in the like where I was. Another big thing that I struggle with, and it's something that I still struggle with, is fear. And I think as a kid, like that's just something that just kind of comes. You have your little kid brains, and so yeah. But that was something that I really really struggled with. It was just like some crazy, just like irrational fears almost, and it would really it would cripple me for sure. And so um, yeah, that was definitely a big part of my childhood. And I think some of it kind of went away as I grew up, but it also followed me in a lot of ways too. And I think that kind of like sparked some anxiety that I had in high school and still kind of struggle with now. That is something too that my family kind of struggles with, and so yeah, that's just kind of just how our brains were kind of wired. But yeah, again, the Lord has been so good and reminding me like, no, it's okay. I got you, girl. And a big part too is my mom just constantly, reading scripture over me and just trying to instill within me like, it's okay, God's got you. And so yeah, anyway, that's a kind of a big part of growing up.
Can you talk a little more about being homeschooled and like, did you like that? How was that growing up?
Yeah, oh my gosh, I loved it some days and then some days I did not. So, yeah, I mean, that's all I knew for the biggest part of my life. My siblings were all homeschooled. So that's just all I knew. But I loved being home and getting to stay in my pajamas all day.
That's the best part.
Yes, yes. And then you can get your school done early, and then you can just go off and go play. But I think I definitely missed that community, and just kind of missed some opportunities that like you don't really get with going to public school or going to so yeah, I really liked it. But I went to Lehman Academy for my 5th grade year, and thankfully, like we started going. Me and my sister started going when it first opened. So like everybody was new. So that was really really helpful. It wasn't just like, oh my gosh, I'm just the new kid. Like everyone was new. So it was a big learning curve for sure. I was like, I've never had so many kids like in this classroom. Like what? Like my mom's not the teacher. Like this is so weird. So I think you definitely get like a really personal aspect with being homeschooled. Besides like, yeah, I don't know. But at the same time, like I'm really thankful that I kind of had both, and then I was definitely exposed to a lot of things, just even at a charter school, but I went to a public high school. So that was also a huge change too.
The difference between two, like private and then public homeschool, like each one's quite different from each other.
Yes, for sure. So yeah, definitely like a lot of learning curves, but I'm also glad because I think it exposed me to some worldly things, but at the same time, like that kind of helped open up my eyes. Like, wow, like not everybody knows Jesus, because my little circle knew Jesus, but then I was exposed to a lot of people who didn't, and so yeah, that definitely opened up my eyes to like evangelism and things like that. So yeah.
Do you think it helped you like being at home in your younger years and being homeschooled and then going into like a public school? Like, do you think that helped prepare you to like stand strong in your faith more?
Yes, for sure. I think my parents definitely helped build that really strong foundation and going to Sunday school and all of that. So I knew like that was the truth. I knew a lot of like, okay, this is what the Bible says and this is what the Bible doesn't say. It's a lot of right and wrong. So I'm definitely very, very grateful for that. And yeah, just kind of helped prepare me to go into battle, basically. Yeah.
So like the idea of this podcast is to see people from many different walks of life and how God uses them. And so it's called like the Outcast Faith Podcast. And so is there any way in your life that you've felt like an outcast or kind of like you didn't fit in at any point in your life?
Yeah, that's a good question. I think there's definitely like a lot of areas or a lot of seasons of my life where I felt like I didn't fit in. That first year of going to school.
Yes.
That was kind of hard, but definitely found my groove. But I think probably around my 8th grade year is when I really felt like, oh, like I don't fit in here. And it was kind of like the end of the school semester, so people are getting ready to go to high school and friends are just kind of, I don't know, it was just kind of crazy. So um, I think that was probably one of the first like biggest times I felt like I didn't fit in. But I just kind of kept holding on to the idea of like, it's okay, I'm almost at high school, I'm almost out of here, like I can just kind of just go through under the radar for a little bit. But then going into high school, I had a good freshman year. That's when COVID hit too, so I was kind of like back to homeschool for my sophomore year, and then came back to in person my junior year, and I was like, whoa, like all of the friends that I had my freshman year kind of continued to stay friends, and then I kind of like fell off. So I felt like, oh my gosh, I do not fit in here at all. I struggled a lot with like confidence, and again, fear was there. And so, yeah, that was probably like the biggest time where I was like, oh my gosh, I do not fit in. But again, like the Lord was so gracious and reminding me, like, it's okay. You don't have to fit in, like we are called to be set apart. We're called to be different. And so he definitely blessed me with just a few really close friends, but those friendships were so sweet. And that's when I got really, really connected with the Word, was like my sophomore, junior year of high school. Kind of just because I had the time, and so I also started getting really plugged in with youth group and met some of my forever friends, my forever gospel friends, who were just crazy for the Word and everything. And so I feel like even though that time was like really, really hard and difficult at school, like the Lord also blessed it in so many different ways by bringing me those friends, and we're all still really good friends today. And just really like, yeah, that's when I dove into the Word and got really connected and started kind of having like my own faith, because growing up it was kind of like, it was mine, but it was also kind of like my parents. And then it was like, okay, now I'm old enough to like make the decision of like,
it's like the only thing you've known, like
yeah,
you were raised that way, so it's like you never, whether or not like I believe, like for me, I was raised Christian,
yeah,
and I do believe that I always did really believe in
yeah,
God, but it was like that's what I was taught, that's all I
right,
knew. So
yeah,
you have
yeah,
to make the decision for yourself at some point.
exactly, yeah. So definitely feel like that was kind of like my high school year, but yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, running, I know, has been such a big part
Yes.
of your life, like ever since I've known you.
Yep.
So, can you talk a bit about that and how running has affected your relationship with God and how
Yeah.
it's gotten you through some hard spots in your life?
Yeah. Yeah. Oh my gosh. Yeah. Like I said, even as a little kid, running has been my thing. I remember like being at church and running barefoot all around like campus, and we were playing tag with my friends, and they would be telling me like, Reatta, like we're tired, like we don't play this anymore. I'm like, no, like come on, let's keep going, let's go. So even as a little kid, I've just loved running. But I didn't really get into cross country and track until my freshman year of high school. And that just really became a really good outlet for me. That's where I met some of my really close friends, at high school. And yeah, oh my gosh, I don't know. I think it's just been such a blessing. It's been really hard for sure. And I think that it's tested me and my faith in a lot of different ways. But I think that it's also been such a blessing, And one way, like, that I feel closest to God is through running. And it's just being, like, in His creation, or just listening to worship music, just kind of turning my mind off and just run, And so that's been really sweet. And I saw some success my freshman year of high school, but it wasn't really until I started going to college where it was like, oh my gosh, like this is so cool. And so I think the Lord kind of built that platform in a way, and it is all for His good and His glory. Like something that I kind of talk about is like running is such a privilege, and it's a gift. It's not my own, like it's God's.
Yeah.
And so just truly like it's not me, it's the Lord in me. So
Yes.
just giving him all the honor and glory. And so that's been really cool. And seeing like some of my teammates and asking me like, how, like, you're always so happy. Like what? And I'm like, oh my
You
gosh.
are like the happiest person I know. Every time I see you, you're just so happy.
Oh, thank
and
you.
I don't know, you just like expel like God's love out of you.
Oh,
I don't know. I
thank
see
you.
you and
That's
you're
so
just so
sweet.
like full of like
Yeah.
love and life and.
Oh, thank you. But yeah, I feel like practice has definitely been such a cool way to just share the gospel. You know, we're running for, I don't know how long. We're running for a while sometimes. Yeah. And so it's, just a great opportunity to just kind of tell them about the Lord and what he's done in my life. And also I think too, like, there's so many people who put running like, oh, like I have to do this, and I've even walked through that too, and I crash and burn really hard when I put it kind of on myself. Yeah. And so I think a lot of athletes kind of do that, and so there's such a freedom of giving it to God. And no matter if like I'm successful or not, like it's for his good and his glory, and that is good. And so that has definitely taken a huge weight off my shoulders, and I'm just able to run freely. And so it's cool to like tell other people that too. But yeah, it's just been so fun. It's hard again, but it's really sweet too.
Do you think running has helped you with that fear you've talked about, like being able to just run off like the fears in your life?
Yeah, no, for sure. I think I talked a little bit too about like some anxiety that I had, and I think even running has brought some anxiety too, because it's something that I care about so much. But it has been a huge outlet for fear and anxiety. I think too, just any physical exercise genuinely just helps you in your mind, and just getting those good thoughts rolling. But yeah, definitely running has helped me a lot. And again, just it's kind of like that quiet place with me and God. And so it's also like given me a lot of confidence too, in a way, because the Lord has given me so many different opportunities and kind of put me in places of like, oh my gosh, like I'm gonna be so uncomfortable here, but like it's okay because I know like God's got me, and it's through running, which is something that I love. So yeah, it's been really good.
What made you decide to go out of state? You're going to West Georgia?
Yeah. Oh my gosh, so that was kind of a huge decision. So right out of high school, actually, I wanted to go to Grand Canyon University so bad. All of my friends at church were going there, and it was just like, I don't know. It's a great university. It's kind of that sweet spot. It's like, it's kind of away from home, but it's, you can still go back through the weekends. And so they have a great nursing program. I was like, okay, that's where I want to go. And the Lord just kind of just gracefully just closed those doors and was like, no, I'm going to bring you to Pima. And so I was really upset about that for a while. But then, like, oh my gosh, what a blessing Pima was. And again, I met one of my other really, really great friends, and she's actually going to West Georgia with me now too.
Oh, so
really cool. Yeah, so that has been so, so sweet. But that's, kind of one of the big things that brought me to West Georgia too. Pima really encourages athletes, like, you can go anywhere you want. Like, if you really put your mind to it, you can go anywhere. And so I've lived in Tucson my whole life, lived in the same house my whole life. I've never moved, like, at all. And so just thinking about that opportunity to go anywhere, like, oh my gosh, that is so cool. Yes. And so I actually did get connected though with a coach at Grand Canyon, and was like, okay, like, oh my gosh, like, full circle moment, like, I'm gonna go back to Grand Canyon, like, this is so cool. But again, the Lord just quietly closed those doors and was like, wait, what? Like, oh my gosh. And then he just opened the door for West Georgia. I have no idea how this coach found us. Like, I have no idea, other than God, And so I got in contact with him, and he's a believer as well. And so that was really, really huge. And he sounded like he had a great program, and basically was like, well, what do I need to do to get you to come here? And one of the biggest things, especially going out of state, was like, I can't afford it. Like, that is so much money. And he basically was like, it's okay, we got you covered. And that was huge. I was like, oh my gosh. So again, such a gift from the Lord. And I felt like I hit so many roadblocks with other schools and trying to go there, but it was just so easy with West Georgia. So I knew, like, okay, all right, God, like, you're leading me here. And I knew too, like, I'm so close with my family. So moving out of state was gonna be so hard, but I knew, like, it would grow me in a lot of ways that I couldn't if I went to school in Arizona or even like nearby states. And so, yeah, I don't know. I think that again, the Lord has definitely asked me a lot of times throughout my life, okay, Reatta, do you trust me? And so, just like, okay, God, yeah, I trust you. And putting me in those uncomfortable situations to grow my faith. And I knew, like, yeah, I would be kind of on my own. You know, my best friend Linda was coming, but like we'd kind of just be on our own. We didn't know anyone. I didn't know what the school looked like. I never toured it before. You know, didn't meet any of the girls except for like on Instagram or something like that. So it was a lot of unknown. But like I just knew to like, no, this is gonna be good. So and yeah, what a blessing it has been. And I've gotten really, really plugged in with FCA there and a really good church over there too, and found some really good community.
What is FCA?
Oh yes, oh my gosh, okay, it's Fellowship of Christian Athletes. And so like non-athletes can go there too. It's kind of like a youth group. Yeah, non-athletes can go, but it's mostly like athletes. And so it's such a sweet community. You know, we have worship and our pastor comes up and gives a message, and we have sometimes like small groups and things like that, and then we have like come together and all pray, and it's just so sweet. I love it so much. But yeah, I got really, really plugged in there. So but something that our pastor says all the time is blessings follow obedience. And so I've definitely seen the fruit of that as just like, yeah, stepping in obedience with the Lord, and he blesses it for sure.
Yeah. Sometimes it's hard to tell like what God's, what direction he's like throwing you in. And I think like you said, like you wanted to go to GCU so bad, and it's like, sometimes when you start doing the steps to like do something, a lot of people are like, I need to pray first, I need to get an answer, and I'm like, sometimes you just need to start doing it, and then God will just close the doors if it's not right, and then he'll open the right ones, like for West Georgia.
Yeah, that's so true.
Really cool.
Yeah.
So you just turned 21?
I did,
okay.
Yes.
I'm gonna make sure I'm right. And how are you hoping to achieve with God in your next 21 years?
Yeah, oh my gosh, that's a good question. I think again I'm starting to step into that season of, okay, God, I don't really know what to do. You know, I was there right out of high school, I was there right out of Pima, and now I'm kind of stepping back into that season again. But I think there's a few options that I'm like, okay, like yeah, like what you said, it's hard to kind of tell like where God is leading you. But I think sometimes you just gotta go until you get that solid no. So I think I do have an extra year of running, which is really big. The NCAA just gave out 5 years of eligibility, so I have one more year of running after this. So I'm probably going to stay at West Georgia again and either get my accelerated master's program or, I don't know, just kind of continue to build up that degree. And then after that, it's a big world of unknown. I have no idea. I love the South so much, and so part of me really wants to stay there. But again, it's kind of hard too because I'm so close to family here. So it kind of depends on, okay, what degree I do end up with, and then what job I'm able to get, and then yeah, just kind of seeing what the future holds there. I definitely would love to continue running, just for fun. You know, I might like start getting into marathon training, but I don't know. After like a 12-mile run, I'm like, ooh, I'm good. Like,
I know. I kind of want to like. I'm more on the half marathon.
Yes.
That seems kind of cool, but I'm like, I don't even know if I want to do that.
Yeah,
too much.
I know. Yeah, because I'm more like mid-distance, so I'm not the full distance kind of gal. But yeah, so again, just kind of stepping into that unknown, but I'm really excited to see where God's gonna lead me. It's like, oh man, I'm a big girl now. I gotta go do big girl things. um, but yeah, I don't know. We'll see. And stepping into this new year, like I kind of mentioned FCA, and so I got asked to be on the leadership team for them. So that's gonna be so fun.
Really cool.
And again, I think the Lord is kind of putting me in a lot of uncomfortable situations. I'm more of like the reserved kind of shy girl,
Yeah,
so
me
it's
too.
yeah. So I think like it's gonna be really good though for me to grow my faith, and we have like an evangelism table that we set out, so we genuinely just walk up to people on campus and like, hey, do you know Jesus?
That's so
like,
hard.
yeah, I know. So never done that before, so it's gonna be really good. But yeah, so I'm super excited to get really plugged in with them and just see where the Lord kind of brings that. And then, yeah, I don't know. That's kind of it though. Yeah.
So you're just heading towards like nursing and that kind
Mm-hmm.
of thing?
Yes, so I'm getting my bachelor's in health and community wellness with a minor in nutrition, health promotion. So I could go a couple different ways with that. I love though like how broad the healthcare is. You know, you could go anywhere, so that's really big. But I might go into PT and then get like a physician's assistant for peds. I love kids, so I definitely know that like I want to work with kids. Um, but yeah, again, I don't really know. And then again, it's like, okay, I could go get my associates in nursing. And so PIMA has a really, really good program for that. And yeah, it's only 2 years. So could just go back to school there and then get my associates and then go straight to work, which would be really cool. So I could kind of be like an RN with that. And then with my nutrition part, I could go into like coaching with that. And that's something I've kind of thought about too. Like, oh my gosh, like I love running so much, and my coaches have been such a big impact in my life. And so just being able to be that for someone too. But I don't know if I could necessarily live off of a coaching salary. I think some people do, but I feel like people usually kind of do it more as like a side thing. So, but I don't know. So yeah, we'll kind of see. But I'm excited. And then sometimes I'm like, oh, I just want to be a mom. Like, so yeah, we'll see though. That'll be good.
Yeah. What made you so interested in health? Was that like because of running, or where was that come from?
Yeah. I think again, ever since I was a kid, I've just always kind of had that heart, like to kind of help people. And then getting into running, it just was like, wow, like our bodies are created so intricately and so wonderfully. You know, I love Psalm 139. You know, we're intricately designed in His image, and so just having that opportunity to learn more about it. And I have taken a couple of classes, like I've taken anatomy and phys for 2 years, and oh my gosh, sometimes I sit there and I'm like, how can you not believe in a designer and a creator behind this? Because everything is so like perfect and just
like,
so.
How do you believe that just came from like goo? Like
exactly,
it's so like the exact amount of like like all the chemicals and everything, like so that we can breathe air.
Yes.
It's like
It's insane, yeah. And so yeah, just getting to learn more about that, I always thought was really, really cool. And then, yeah, like I said, I've always loved kiddos. Ever since I was little, like my older sister would always babysit, and so being able to kind of get into that, and so I was like, oh, that's perfect. I can like help kids like through nursing or something like that. So yeah, that's kind of how I got into it. But it's really cool. Yeah.
Well, you sound like such a busy person.
Oh,
How
yes.
do you prioritize like your relationship with God and having that time with Him in your busy life?
Yeah, that's really good. And honestly, that's something that I oftentimes struggle with. So when you had sent me those questions, I was like, oh my gosh, like that was such a good reminder. I was like, especially since starting to move again on Friday. And so been so busy and still training and trying to see everybody before I go. Like it definitely gets really packed. But something that I've always held on to when it gets really busy is just the power of prayer and just, sitting in that. I always like to think like praying is just like a never-ending phone call with the Lord. So I'm just always on call with Him. So even like a simple, quick little prayer, like sometimes that is enough. I love the YouVersion Bible app, and just read the verse of the day, when I first get up. And so
I love getting that notification.
Yes.
It's just like, it always is like, well, at least I got to read this. No matter what happens, I got to think about that.
Exactly, yeah. And so I always think that's really cool. And then something else that I love to do too is just incorporating worship music. And just, sitting in that for a while too. But I think prayer has definitely always been a really big part of my life. And just again, like those quiet prayers, just even saying his name is just, it holds so much power. So that's usually what I do. I definitely really need to work on that though sometimes. And I think, being in the Word daily is super, super important. And so I used to struggle with like, oh, but I don't have time. I don't have time to read my Bible. And it's like, well, girl, you gotta make time. Or like,
I have time to scroll on Instagram.
Yes, exactly. Yes. Ooh. So just kind of like making time for him is super important. And I always find like, in the mornings is always really sweet, just get my mind right for the day. So I really hope like as I get to school, I'm just gonna make that a priority and really make it like a routine. And so but sometimes it can be tricky with morning practices and everything. I love my sleep. So, but again, it's like, no, this is so much more. This is so much better. It's so much more fulfilling and fruitful. So, yeah.
You mentioned worship music. What are some of your favorite Christian artists and songs?
Yes. Oh my gosh. Okay. One of my favorite songs I've been listening to on repeat for like literally like a month is, I think it's Wonderful Blood. Oh my gosh. I don't remember who it is. Who it's by. Oh, it's so good. It's so good. I actually don't know who it's by. That's a good question. But that has been on replay a lot. I literally was just listening to it on the way here. And I love to kind of like, they're not very popular and they're a little more like different worship music, like John Mark Cantana. He's kind of like a quiet worship. I feel like that's so sweet. Sometimes I like a little like different than like the traditional worship music, because again, that's something I just kind of grew up with. So it's like, and it's like, no, like the words are so good. So sometimes listening to like the more non-traditional worship, I think it's really fun. But love good old Bethel music. I think that's so sweet. Oh my goodness, I feel like there's so many.
I know, I always blank. Somebody asks you a question, you're like, I know there's so many, but I don't know.
Yeah, but I think Wonderful Blood is definitely, it's so good.
Is it going to be in your Spotify Wrapped?
Oh yeah.
Okay,
oh, yeah.
It's on that level, okay. Is there a biblical character that you identify with?
Yes, okay, that was really fun to kind of think about. I would probably say Martha. So I think I wrote it down somewhere because I knew I was gonna forget. So kind of like in Luke, it's when Jesus comes to Martha and Mary's house and is, sitting down, and Mary's doing all the right things, just sitting by his feet, washing his feet, and Martha's going around like getting everything ready and like doing all the things and cleaning, and she comes up to Jesus and's like, Mary's not doing anything, like she's not helping me. And Jesus is so humble and is like, no, she's doing all the right things, like you need to calm down, girl. So I think I can definitely relate to that sometimes, even though she's doing like good things, like she's cleaning and all of that, but like where she was right in that moment, like she needed to focus on him. And so I think that's something that I definitely struggle with, is like, oh, I'm running around doing all these things, but it's like, no, I need to sit at his feet and I need to be still. And so, I think that's probably the character that I would probably,
I think everybody can sometimes relate to
yes,
that.
Yes.
Okay, and last question. What is your favorite Bible verse?
Oh, okay, this is also a good question. I feel like there's so many too. But I think I kind of mentioned in the beginning, struggling with fear, and my mom would kind of rehearse Bible verses to me. I think memorizing scripture too is super, super important.
Yeah, that's really
yeah, so when those times of fear come around, like you are able to speak truth over yourself, and I think that's really cool. But yes, one of the verses that she would always tell me, and I really clung to like in high school when I felt like I didn't fit in or was just overwhelmed, and even those first couple of really difficult months of moving to college and just feeling like, oh, I'm kind of by myself here, was, I wrote it down too, so I won't forget, Isaiah 41:10. I feel like it's kind of like, oh, it's kind of a classic one, but it's so good. I mean, it's truth. The whole Bible is truth. But it says, "Do not fear, for I am with you. Do not be afraid, for I am your God. I will strengthen you. I will help you. I will uphold you with my righteous right hand." So, yeah, I feel like that's just kind of a verse that I oftentimes come back to, and even with running, like, oh man, like this workout is really hard. Like, now he will uphold you with your righteous right hand. He will strengthen you. And he says, like, do not be afraid, for I am with you. And so yeah, that's always been a good one. Yeah.
That's a good one.
Yeah.
Well, this was so awesome,
This was so
and I'm so
fun.
glad that you could come and make time in your final days here in Tucson. And yeah, I loved hearing what's been going on in your life, and thank you so much for coming.
Yes. Oh my gosh, thank you so much for this opportunity. I'm so excited to see what God does with it.
Yes.
Yay.
All right. I'll see everyone on the next episode. Thank you for listening, and goodbye.